Hi everyone, hope you're going well. Today I will finally show you how to use my free ZPlugin LayersMaster, which you can get it on the ArtStation marketplace. I will put the link in the description. So when you will download it, if you haven't yet, you will get a zip file, and in this zip file there is the ZPlugin file, one documentation, which is basically a brief interview of what I will show today, and the folder LayersMaster data, which contain all the icons. So you should always keep these two files together. To install it for ZBrush, you should go to ZBrush 2021, and it will work for 2021.7 only for now. Then the startup, ZPlugin 64, and here you can just drag these two files. Perfect. Then when you will launch ZBrush, you will get the plugin. So in this palette, the ZPlugin palette, there is LayersMaster. In my case, I put it here. Perfect. I try to show you very quickly how to use it. Sorry, I don't want to do that. Give me a minute. Not this one. I will just load one example. Why is it here? Okay. So I just prepare this model, which is Nick from the Z-tool from ZBrush, and on this model I just add some layers. So there is like 12 layers, I think, with very basic transformation, as you can see, and some like bigger transformation. Sometimes when you have a lot of layers, it can be very hard to to scroll in this bar and to find the one you want. So here you can use either this slider, where if you know the number arrangement of the layer, you can say, for example, I want the fourth one, which is unhappy in this case. I know it's not the very easy way to use it, but you can also use the layer selector, which will show you all the layers by list of 10. So I have 12, and you can select the one you want. Here's the dog face, for example. Every time you change the selection here or here, you will get the name of the layer in this top bar. And then just under it, you have the value slider, which is basically the same slider than this one. Not exactly the same, because this one is full interactive, but not this one. So you need to release the mouse click if you want to see the change, but it works perfectly. And when you switch to another layer, it will show you the value of the layer. So let's say this one 67, and mouth open 51. Nice. Then here you have basically the same button than here. So go up, go down. So as you can see, the number will change here. Move up, move down. Delete layer and duplicate layer. I didn't add the other one. You have also the back all option, of course. You can rename the layer, and here you can just press the rec mode. So I just add this option because if you don't want to see this trail, you can do everything you want just in here. So let's say I want the bulky face to be at 1. So this is a bulky face, right? I want to press it the rec mode, and I want to change something. So let's say, I don't know, all right. Then press off, and it works. All right. This button is not interactive also. That means if you press rec here but you unpress here, you won't, I mean the switch will keep toggle in toggle mode, will stay in toggle mode, sorry. But you can just switch off and switch back again as you want. Okay, so these features are just very basic features, and this button here on top is just a way to update the value, because like I say, it's not fully interactive. So if I select this one, which is the 12th, it won't say 12 here, but if you press update, it would say 12. Okay. Then here you have some option like can manage all the layers together and even manage multiple subtools. So if you want, for example, to turn this layer on, you can then turn it on. So it's basically just this button. Turn it off if you want, but you can say turn it on for all layers also, and turn it off, which can be pretty cool if you need, for example, to remove all layers. You can just turn it off and then back all, as you see, right? Okay. You can add layers. So basically the same button than new here, but when you add layer and say rename new layer, so here it does work exactly as this one. But if you want to, you can add layers on multiple subtools. So here I don't have many subtools, so I will just load the demo soldier here. This one has a bunch of subtools, right? So if I want to, I can say all layers, so either selected, visible, or all layers, and set add layer, which can be pretty cool if you want to put your character in pose. So let's say then I want to use the transpose master, T-pose mesh. All right, and then I will do something very quickly. Then up and I don't know, something like that. Right? Of course, you can do a lot more. Oh, sorry. All right. Let's say that's very bad, but let's say that's good. T-pose sub T. All right. But because I add a new layer to each subtool before, there is a layer here. As you can see, there is a layer here. I can still modify it and I can turn it off if I want to. And that's pretty cool because let's say I want to fix this part here. I can add a new layer and just switch this one off and fix it. But what I do to do this, I will add an animation. So this button will just add a timeline animation, and I can do it for selected subtool, visible subtool, or all subtool. So if I press add for all subtool, you can now scroll in, do the scroll bar, and it will work for all subtool. Oh, sorry, I didn't do it for all. I don't know why. Okay, and it works for every subtool, right? And if I want to, so which one I got? Yeah, okay. If I want to, I can, let's say, add a new layer, right? And choose somewhere where it works pretty okay. I mean, it's not okay, but you can imagine like here or maybe here even. Press rec, fix my my part here. That's very bad what I'm doing, but I guess you understand the idea behind that. I don't know, something like that maybe. Break off and then go. Now it's not cool yet, so maybe just a little before, like here. Press rec and maybe like try to fix it. Even with a low poly mode. Okay, switch off. Okay, maybe it's better. I don't know if it's better or not. Let's see. So I got that before and I got this now. So that's a pretty cool way to keep things like non-destructive using layers when you use Transpose Master. All right, and then so you can delete all animation for all layers also. I don't know why it didn't work for this one. Try again. Come on. Oh, I don't have the... Ah, sorry. I need to say, because here I have two layers, right? So when I say delete animation, it will delete the animation on this layer, the one which is selected. But in my case was this one. So either I select this one or I can say delete animation for all layers. Yes. And here it works. Was my my fault. And I can show you these features with Nix also. So if I say all layers, add animation, yes, it will add animation for all layers on Nix. Alright, so all layers are moving together. And when you say delete animation for all layers, so I can say selected. Yes. I don't have animation anymore, right? So everything is at 1 by default, but I can say turn it off, sorry, and is at 0. Alright, so these features are just some useful thing for me, but maybe not for you. But the last one here in the blend shape features are very cool, I think, for anybody that work with blend shape actually. So basically when you work with blend shape, so you should have only the head probably, but okay, I have all the model. You will probably work with a symmetry to build your blend shape. Or maybe you have something from scan, so it's not symmetric. It works also for unsymmetric model actually. But you will get like, for example, let's see, I would take the smile and say 1. Maybe you want, come on, maybe you want to get 2 blend shape actually, one for the left side, one for the right side. Here I have only 1 blend shape. This button here, the B-shape split, will break your will duplicate actually your layers as 2 new layers, and it will break by the center of the model. So you don't even need to see the layers actually. It can be off, it works also. So first thing you need to do actually is to turn it off everything, probably. Then you should store a morph target. So you can do it just once. Even if you have multiple blend shape, you will store only one, but one is in neutral pose. Then I can use B-shape split, but you need, this button need to know 2 things. So the store morph target, and then which axis to use, because you can work maybe on a model which is in front of the scene, but maybe your model will be will be like that, with no unsymmetry, so it's not on the X axis, right? So you just need to say which axis you use. So for that you just need to activate the symmetry and choose which axis is a good one. When you choose the good one, you don't need to keep the symmetry on actually, you can turn it off, but you see it's still in a range, so it's still active somewhere. Alright, and then you need to tell where is the center of the model, because at the beginning I was using the center of the model or the word maybe, or maybe center of the model. But if your model is not symmetric, so let's say okay, let's bring back this one, which is mine. Sorry, turn it on. Right, rec. Let's say this model isn't symmetric, so maybe there's something like that, and like that. All right. So the model is not symmetric anymore. I mean, here is still symmetric because the end. I mean the center is still here probably, but let's say it's not symmetric. Then you can't say use the center of the face, for example, because the center of the face will be probably somewhere from here. You need to tell the center is about here. So to do it, you need to put your transpose line. So you press W to get the gizmo, press Y to get the transpose line. And then you can just click somewhere in the center. Wherever is this circle, this one is the one I will, the script will take care. And here you're ready to use this B-shape split. All right. Just before to use it, you can see there's a slider just next to the B-shape split. This slider will control how smooth is the transition between the two sides. So by default is at 1. If you put 0, it will work for eyes, for example, because I won't change the center. But if you change the center of the face, you should put at least 1 and maybe more if your model have multiple I mean a lot of active points. You will need maybe to put to 10, I don't know. Alright, let's say 1 for this one. I think it will be okay. And then you press B-shape split. Alright. Nothing changed here, except that now you have the smile one, the first one, and you have 2 new smile. And if I turn it off this one, you can see there is no smile, there is no here also, because I changed it. And on this one, there is no smile also, right? So it's not the neutral position because I changed it after, but you understand, I guess. Let me try on another one. So let's do it with the eye blink. So if I select the eye blink, all right, turn off every layers and say B-shape split. You can see eyes are closed and I got 2 different layers. Before I got only 1, right? Of course, you should probably rename it. So let's say underscore, which one is it? Underscore right. And this one will be underscore left. All right. I should use here. Oh, sorry. Okay. And yeah, you can do it for every layers, but remember to turn it off all layers before to press it, because otherwise you will get some weird transformation. All right. And finally, the last features on this blend shape features is the layer to subtool. Basically, when you want to export your blend shape when you're done with it, you will use the great plugin FBX export import, and then if you press layers, you will get all your layers as blend shape. But depending on which DCC you're using, maybe it won't act as you want. That's my case actually, because I'm using 3ds Max. And so okay, I don't care. Okay, let's say I want to export all these layers as blend shape. So I will export it and I will just bring it to one specific folder from my computer. Okay. That's very fast, which is cool. And I mean, it's still working, but that's pretty fast. And yeah, it's done. And if I import it in my scene, just by default, I do have all my layer name, and I have Nick plane shape, which is the file folder. I mean the name of the file. I can turn off all layers if I want, and then everything works very well. So I mean, I can't complain. So you see, I blink right, I blink left. I can't complain for that. But what I don't like is like all these layers are actually just data, because you can't modify it, you can't even move it. there is nothing actually. It just contains the data, but you can't see it and you can't modify it, which can be very frustrating when you just want to fix a little thing, I mean. So I don't like to use this way, so I will just remove that. All right. So what I did on this script, I add this option layer to subtool. If I press it, it will transfer all these layers as a new tool, as a subtool in a new tool. So we'll just try layer to subtool. So it can take a few seconds, depending on the number of layers, of course. So operation has been done with success. And now, so I still have my model here, all layers are off, and I do have another subtool, will host my layers, which keeps the name of the layers as subtool. So if I press solo, it works. It will keep also the value of the layers. So if you decide to do it, let's say on this one, I'll try to go fast, but let's say on the melt one, so this one, let's say the value is only 0.25, for example, and restart layer to subtool. So now I have another, I don't know if this one or the other one, but okay, this one was the first one, and this one is a new one. So it will transfer your layers with the value of the layers, right? So then I can export all these layers, all these subtools, sorry, with, let's try, so I will unpress layers. There is no layers on this subtool, of course. So layers are empty. And I will just export them, so all layers, fbx export, and I will call them blend shapes. Oh, je mets all blend shapes. Alright. So it will take longer than the first way to do it. I'm sorry for that, maybe I can optimize it later. But at least I will just keep all my data. Okay, I think it's done. So I will just remove this morpher. Are we done here? Yeah. And then I will import the all blend shape folder. All right. Let's put them in new layers. Add a new morpher. Load multiple targets, and I will load everything. So basically it works the same way, except that this time I do have all my layers here if I want to modify something. So let's say, for example, I want to modify what is it, elf one, so this one I want to modify it. I can just go to the elf one here. So let's say I will just turn it off, turn it on, W. I can use my morpher here, my blend shape, and of course this one is pretty high in polygons. Come on, why is it looking for, oh yeah, all right. Oh, maybe not. Okay, I can modify it if I want. and it will modify this one. So I don't need to go back to ZBrush just to make a little change, and I mean often you need to, to do some little change actually. So that's why I wanted to add these features. Use it or not as you want. Alright, I think I'm done with this presentation, so feel free to leave some comments. I don't know if you will like it or not, but it's free, so I mean, you have nothing to lose, I guess. Thanks, see you later.